3 o'clock on Instagram only. We have our conversation with Pastor David Gusick. So if you have any questions, please bring those questions to the conversation and post those questions. That's how you will be able to interact in the conversation. He is an incredible Bible mind, a hero of mine, and I'm sure, no doubt, a hero of many of yours. I know a lot of people have been blessed by his commentary, which is on Blue Letter Bible, as well as his own website, which is enduringword.com. But great guy, wonderful mind, so humbled and blessed to be able to have a conversation with him tomorrow. So again, please join us tomorrow at 3. All right, well, hope that you've been able to keep up in our daily reading. Today we had a little bit of a shorter text, and it was pretty straightforward. In chapter 6, we saw that Solomon built the temple. It was a 7-year process. And then in chapter 7, we see all the other buildings he built, which some of which were personal buildings, and then others were in relation to the temple and worship. So when we read through something like this, kind of hard to come up with a devotional. So we have to think kind of outside of the box, and rather than just looking at like one particular verse or something like that might speak to us, we have to look at the whole picture. So the question that I asked as I'm reading through this is, what motivated Solomon to do this? And we see a hint as to what motivated him here in chapter 6. It says in verse 12, "Concerning this temple," this is the word from the Lord, "which you are building, if you walk in my statutes, execute my judgments, keep all my commandments, and walk in them, then I will perform my word with you, which I spoke to your father David. I will dwell among the children of Israel, and I will not forsake my people Israel." So Solomon built and finished the temple. We see that his motivation, hopefully at least, was just simply to obey God. You know, sometimes when it comes to big tasks that we have, that this right here would be Solomon's life work. This is the thing that he would probably be known for the best. Building Solomon's temple is what it came to be known as. So why was he doing it? What was his motivation? Well, he was either motivated by trying to impress people, and we see that Solomon, this building he built, was incredibly impressive. The whole thing is lined with gold, as it tells us. I mean, it's truly remarkable. So he was either trying to impress people, or he was giving God his best. And right there, that's kind of a heart issue, isn't it? We can either be doing what we're doing to impress people, and we can easily, as Christians, kind of justify it away by saying, "Oh, what I'm really doing is trying to, give my best to the Lord." Listen, it's a heart issue. Only you truly know. You can either be doing your best to impress people, or doing your best to please the Lord. Doing your best in sin, or doing your best in obedience. That's what it comes down to. Because God is not interested in the building. He's not interested in the thing that you are going to be most known for. He's more interested in your heart. He wants you to obey him. He wants the reason why you do things to be because you love him, because you want to please him, because you want to hear, "Well done, good and faithful servant." So we look at this and we say, well, there's no doubt that Solomon did his best. I mean, this is the nicest of the nice material. We see that the children of Israel supplied great materials for Solomon. So everybody's on board. This is a really great project. It's possible that it was all done, and it was kind of smoke and mirrors, that Solomon's really doing it trying to impress people. But I think obviously more likely by what God says to Solomon here is that actually what's going on is that he is trying his best to honor the Lord. So I want to encourage you, give God your best. Yes, work your hardest, be diligent, but also remember that as someone who works hard, as someone who's diligent, you can be doing what you're doing for the wrong reasons. And while you might be judging somebody else who doesn't work as hard as you, thinking, "Oh, look at that lazy, bum over there." If they are honoring and obeying the Lord, and you, although you're working harder, you're doing so for the wrong reasons, you're actually the one in sin. So I want to encourage you, give your best to God. He does not approve of laziness. It's a sin in the Bible. So obviously we know we're not called to that, but make sure that what you're doing, the motivation for why you're doing it, is simple obedience to God. He doesn't desire the big sacrifice to make. He rather desires your heart, and he desires for you to be someone who is simply obedient and submissive to him. All right, guys, like I said, straightforward, a couple chapters, so a little bit short of your Devo. But again, just encourage you, let's all give God our best. Let's simply obey the things that he tells us to do. All right, God bless you guys. We'll see you again tomorrow at 12, as well as at 3 o'clock on Instagram for conversations. And then later on that night on any of our many social media outlets, you can join us for service at 6:30. All right, God bless you guys.